And media versus social media. In the 21st century, storytelling has gone from the TV screen to the computer screen, as many Americans now say they've lost faith in TV news and newspapers and now rely on Twitter and the web. Denise Wood with the story.
How much do Americans trust the media? A new Gallup poll shows the number isn't very high. In a survey released this week, Gallup found that participants have lost confidence in corporate media for failing to provide readers with unbiased, truthful reporting and holding public officials accountable. The poll found that confidence in both TV news and newspapers fell 10 percentage points since 2006. When individuals were asked if they had a great deal or quite a lot of confidence in TV news, only 21% responded yes. And when asked about newspapers, only 20% agreed. So if the public has lost so much faith in corporate news, where are people turning to? For many, the answer is social media outlets like Facebook or Twitter. But these mediums too may have reliability issues. Facebook was recently accused of maintaining a liberal bias in their trending hashtags. The company's team responsible for choosing the trending topics section was accused of deliberately suppressing conservative views. Even though the company denies the bias, Facebook says it now has incorporated new controls to ensure objectivity, something the public apparently believes is increasingly lacking in news coverage.
And joining us in studio is Dr. Vili Abraham, consumer behavior and international marketing expert for Sapir Academic College. Dr. Abraham, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
First of all, should we be surprised by polls such as this saying that consumers have lost faith in us, the media?
Well, not really. I mean, if we look at studies that were published earlier, even in 2013, we can see more and more people relying on social media for their news. So if we compare 2013 to 2015, there was an increase of about somewhere between 11 and 16% in the number of people who use social media to get their news.
And has the media brought it upon itself by many of these different 24-hour news networks aligning themselves with certain political parties and taking certain agendas?
No, I think it has something to do with the millennials, the Y generation, which consumes news differently from previous generations if we compare it to the X generation, meaning they're still concerned about getting, knowing what's happening in politics and technology, et cetera, but they do it differently. They do it through social media. Previous studies show that social media is used not only to connect with friends and know what is happening with your surroundings, etc., but also to get news. So they use social networks also to look for news, and they don't do it in front of television sets. Meaning,
to play a little of a devil's advocate, we've seen it over the past couple years in social media. Now it's not a race against time for the morning, but a race against time second by second to get it out there on Twitter. So when we're talking about reliability, are consumers maybe getting a little frustrated with journalists getting it wrong because of timing issues and having to be the first?
Well, I really don't think so. One of the reasons why people use Facebook or Twitter to get the news is because they know that if their friends share a particular item, then it's probably reliable and something that would be something they can relate to.
And where do you see the future going? You're saying this is because of Generation Y. Where do you see the next generation going?
Okay, well, I think that we're going to be more relying on social media for our news. People today, more and more people use their iPhones, there's different smartphones to get their news. You know that we have more than 2 billion iPhones and smartphones out in the world, and it's going to get, it's going to increase in number. By 2017, we expect people to have about 2.2 billion iPhones, smartphones.
So you believe it will continue in this way?
Yes, definitely.
Dr. Vili Abraham, thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Thank you.